Alright, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone had a happy Merry Christmas. So today, as I'm recording this, it is Christmas Day, Friday, December 25th, and we did just get done with our training. So as you guys can tell from the title of the video, the layout of this video, again, is going to be a little bit different. I'm still kind of trying to experiment with what I like or what I enjoy doing, and again, no external mic, so I'm trying to enunciate and I'll speak as clear as I can. But yeah, so yesterday was Christmas Eve. Today's video is going to be a compilation of yesterday and today. So we'll go ahead and start the video. So yesterday we had our pump squat, our number one squat day. We worked up to a top single actually. We ended up working up to 165 kilos that day. So this is just one of our warm-ups right here. One thing I've been trying to pay attention to is ensuring that weight is 1, over the midfoot, and 2, ensuring that I can feel my tightness in my core, more specifically my obliques. And then here's a posterior lateral view. I've also been trying to ensure that I'm keeping the bar on my rear delts. My elbows are a bit more slightly backwards than normal. But yeah, from there it looks like my elbows are completely aligned with my body. No problem with that. But I've actually had a problem with my elbows being too far forward, causing the shelf in my posterior delt area to be less strong, less stable in that position because my elbows are too far forward. But here's our top single, 165 kg. So yeah, let's watch it. Yeah, I mean, overall it wasn't bad, but goal for today was roughly 7.5. We were going into today. It was kind of cold. I could tell I had a lot of fatigue from snowboarding, but also from my squat day earlier in the week in the quads. I also did notice that I belt squatted my first squat day, which is something that I don't normally do. So I guess that's just a fault on my half. But yeah, had a lot more stress coming in today in the quads. But it's supposed to be 7.5. I rated it at an 8 at that day. I usually try to rate my RPEs immediately or as close to with me being done with the set as possible, just because video can influence you and then you just not being in that exact same moment and that exact same mindset. Say if you do it like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or later on the day trying to rate your RPE watching the videos, it can kind of change your view on things. But yeah, rated it at an 8, which isn't bad. I mean, it's right up there with how 165 has moved before. I don't think I ever rated it lower than an RPE 8. So, I mean, strength is there, and even with the fatigue. So, yeah, that was a pretty successful day. And here we are just hitting back offs. So we were doing back off sets of 7. So we got some new rep ranges for this week. It is 132 kilos. 132 kilos, which is roughly 291 pounds. I'm not sure if I ever hit 132.5 kilos for this rep range before, so I mean, we stuck with it for all the entire back offs. I had a 3x7 at 7, so that's a positive there. Again, as you guys can see, even on these back off sets, the bar is, I can tell it's slipping down my back just because I'm not able to maintain that solid shelf. But yeah, I was trying out the SBD belt that day, and just for the extra support, I was considering maybe switching to a 13mm belt, but yeah, I felt like it was a little bit too much support and it was hurting my ribs that day, especially in the first set. I almost fell over on the first rep. But I mean, it's something to kind of play around with. I know if you try out something new, it's not going to feel immediate or godly like the first time that you do it. So maybe in the future, I might try to switch to a 13mm, but that experience, it kind of made me not made me want to rush into making a purchase for a 13mm belt. But there's still always that chance. So again, finishing off the core day with the ab roller that we got here. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, here we are hitting calves. So now the only reason that I personally train calves, it's not to grow my calves, but it's to build up the muscular endurance just to prevent cramping that I had going on. I know I mentioned it in previous videos, but yeah, the calf training almost left me traumatized, or the calf cramp at Raw Mats almost left me traumatized. But here we are going into the next day. As you guys can see, this is a beautiful new rack that we got, the Illegal 2.0 combo rack. Here's a close look at the bench. It's almost like rubber is what it felt like. And yeah, it has like grip almost built into it. And then just the small details of the plastic on the safeties and on the rack and the roller rack right there, of course. That's just so you don't scrape the bar, damage your bar, or damage your rack also, prevents that. But yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece of equipment that we got here at Convoy. And there's a close look. I was trying to get like the extra grip that it had in it. So, pause it right here. So yeah, I actually had to, like, I literally wanted to see if it was still IPF approved. So I went onto their website, and yeah, even this new combo rack with the padding is mainly what I was concerned about. Like, it's almost too good to be true. But yeah, they do have it as IPF approved on the website as of Christmas. But I mean, I feel like that it's almost cheating because it's super, super grippy. So you almost wouldn't need like chalk or anything on your back. And yeah, I kind of noticed that, especially with wearing my jammies that I got on. No slipping at all. I didn't even have the slightest bit of slipping. But yeah, so says the new design. I'm reading straight off the website right now. So what's new about it is their arm tilt design, I guess, for the arms in versus arms out. Most people normally have their arms out. That's what you see straight up and down. But if you go into competition, you have to designate on that card if you want arms in or arms out. Usually it's the bigger lifters that have the arms in just because of their shoulder mobility in the squat. That's what the mechanism's for, to change it, arms in or arms out. But yeah, most people squat arms out. But I guess they have something that's easier to make it go arms in for the bigger boys when they squat. But yeah, so their new cushion design. So their new cushion design is uniquely constructed with a single piece of injection molded cushion. It provides superior grip and support for athletes, featuring a unique neural grip pattern. So that neural grip pattern is what I was trying to show in that video for improved traction and firm positioning during lifts. So yeah, this new design is incredibly significant in extending the life of the bench. So that's one thing that I did notice over time with the first illegal benches, are that the pads, I mean, while they're super grippy coming out of the box and the first couple of times you train on it, over continuous use, especially in a commercial setting, over significant periods of time, months and months, the grip starts to slowly die down. And what you can tell on the pad which one is our newer Illegal 1.0 bench. We have 3 1.0 benches in total, their first generation. And yeah, the first two are kind of super slippery, like a normal bench pad. You can tell it kind of wore out. But that first one is still semi-grippy. So since we moved into this new location, I feel like personally that I don't need any A7 bar grip or extra support or bands on it. But yeah, we'll see how the 2.0 grip pad stands up to the test of time and all these powerlifters benching on it. But yeah, so we'll get the video rolling to our bench warm-up. So here we are, just warming up the bar, and I wanted to try something different. Some days I don't even go in there and hit the bar for the first warm-up, maybe the yellows or straight to the reds. But I wanted to try a little bit of feet up, just because it has been colder lately. So I'm trying to get that more extended range of motion with my arch slightly lower. Kind of fix it on that first rep just to kind of go almost into a hook line position. And yeah, there you go. You see me adjusting it again. But yeah, just trying to get more range of motion for the benching position. Get the muscles warmed up. And I mean, it does count as a little bit of movement variation technically. But more so the goal was to just get more range of motion, more movement in there to get the muscles that you use during the bench press warm. And yeah, so here we are, just finishing it up. I actually did do a lot more warm-ups than what I'm accustomed to doing. Just because we are, I know I didn't mention it today yet, but I mentioned it in previous videos, we are still having that pec, shoulder area tie-in discomfort during bench press, especially when I'm cold. So just trying to find some ways to kind of prevent it from me benching, prevent it from me feeling it during the bench press, just to kind of get warm and accustomed to the movement. But as you guys can see right here in this clip, we do have some Feiyues on. So I had a buddy in the gym, Cam. He bought them, but he didn't like them, so he was letting me try them out. He said that he found that he was slipping in the bench press. So I just wanted to try it out to see if maybe I could take these off these hands for him or buy my own pair. So we threw the yellows on. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it felt pretty good. Maybe slight slipping when I was trying to. So that's when I'm trying to have more horizontal foot pressure instead of pushing it straight down in the ground. But I feel like I normally go at a down and diagonal angle. So slipping in my foot positioning for the bench hasn't normally been a problem for me, but here I am. I really didn't like the cushioning in it. So the cushioning, I felt like it's huge in there. Huge amount of cushioning. But yeah, a lot thicker than what I'm normally used to. And who knows, maybe some people might like that. But he heard that he wasn't supposed to be taking the insole out of the shoe like normally would do with any type of powerlifting shoe or what normally people do. But maybe if I took the cushioning out, that might be like a whole different story. But yeah, so here's some more hook line bench press just to get the pecs warmed up. So here we are. I guess this is what you can say what would be our first heavy-ish type warm-up, 190 kg. Not 100, 190 kg for bench. 90 kg for bench. 90 kg is roughly 198 pounds, and yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Not horrible, I should say. So a decent bench warm up that day. Feiyues still hanging on, as you can see, still got the tag on. I didn't know if he was planning on returning it or not, so I didn't want to take it off. He had already left the gym. But here we go, 100 kg, 220, clean, straight up and straight down. So this is about where the bench, I know that day if it's going to feel good or not. And then here we are hitting our last warm-up. So the goal coming into today was 117, just 2.5 better than last week. So last warm-up I wanted it to be 5 kg lower than that, so we threw on 112. And then so here we are, setting it up, self-lift off for this last warm-up. Lights going on in the beanie. Yeah, solid overall, straight up and down. So now my form has been looking really, really good. It's just the pec pain and shoulder pain is kind of what's limiting me right now. So I'm more so going through technique with weights that I feel like are manageable as I go through this recovery process. So here we are, getting a lift off with today's top set, 117.5 kg. Which is roughly 258, 259 pounds. Yeah, thanks Morgan for the perfect lift off. One of the better lift offs that I've gotten in the gym. There we go. Staying tight, ensuring that we're keeping that tightness, pressing up, and yeah, no issue with that. Moved straight up and down like RPE 7.5 to 8. But I just rated it closer to RPE 8 just because of that I'm still feeling that pec pain or discomfort. So I kind of put into my RPE ratings any type of discomfort that I'm feeling that day, if it's in the muscles that I'm using for the lift, of course. If I'm feeling major pec pain, but I rate it at RPE 7, I'm gonna put that in my notes, and then next week I'm gonna be like, it was RPE 7, I need to make a jump up. But in fact, I still need to kind of keep it lower and keep into the RPE rating that I'm still having pain. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing this transition as I'm working into the higher RPE ranges for the bench press with my injury going on, taking that into consideration. And here we are. Back offs, RPE 7, 3 by 7 at 7 with 95 kg. And no issues, I'm just trying to ensure that I'm staying tight. I actually switched back to the Notorious. I'm trying to stay tight in my core and feel my obliques. The bench press is what I was really going for today. But I feel like I'm going to stick to the Notorious for the bench press at least. It helps me, I feel like it helps me get lower to the ground. And while it's the same amount of stick, I just like the better feeling of being closer to the ground that I get with the Notorious. So yeah, that's that. And here we are, just finishing off with our last accessory. So as always guys, we'll cap off the video here. As always guys, stay safe, put in that work, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So put in that work, peace out.